Justice Mohai says here, because as a former president, you know that your fellow presidents now and prime ministers are perhaps, some would argue, creating that environment that Paula says, whereby people who are inclined to homophobia feel that they are able to make their homophobic comments, because no president in power, including you yourself, Mr. Mohai, when you are actually in power, you do not come out blatantly in support of gay rights. Fair
yes,
point?
I did not come out in support of gay rights, but I did come up in support of human rights. Therefore, I did not specifically, I'm not a gay activist. I'm not a pro-gay activist. No. I say, well, I don't understand the preference, the sexual preference, but they are entitled to it. And that therefore they should not be discriminated against, it should not be criminalized.
But why, when you were president, did you not repeal? Why did you not make it legal when you were president?
I ruled in a democracy. I could only do what was feasible.
Did you try?
The majority of our people are still opposed. So I must convince them first before changing the law unilaterally. And when I was president, even without changing the law,
let's see.
I gave instructions to our police. They stopped arresting or harassing lesbians.
Monica is a gay rights activist from Botswana, Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. Mohai, with due respect, I believe that you have the power when, for 10 years, you could have changed the law. You could have at least brought up the matter within Parliament or within the policymakers to at least try and change. That would never happen. So I think that's the fundamental problem that we have, is the effort that you're putting in now. We never actually felt it in the country, at home, when you had the power to change things.
When we see, I mean, Mr. Mohai, I want to ask you, when you see the Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga saying homosexuals should be arrested and put in prison, Robert Mugabe in Zimbabwe has compared them to dogs and pigs. Then he said, oh, I'm sorry I said that. It's an insult to dogs and pigs. That's the kind of rhetoric you can get from African leaders. So why this reticence? Why do they create this climate?
I did not, and she, my compatriot, she was not persecuted or arrested during my term of office. So that's what I did. But I could not change the law because that had been necessarily stirring up a hornet's nest.
But why are African leaders, Mr. Mohai?
I was not willing to lose an election on behalf of the gays. But
leave it. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Because
he's being honest. He's being honest.
Listen.
And do you think, Mr. Mohai, that...
And I discussed with my cabinet.
Okay, can I ask you, Mr.
what
Mohai,
I think.
Are other African presidents, you've spoken to many over 10 years, did they have, even those who wanted to support gay rights, felt, I don't want to lose an election, it's not worth it? Did a lot of them make that point to you?
I don't know, no, they haven't. We haven't talked about it.
Did you not discuss...
Except only now, those who make proposals similar to my brothers here, those are the ones that I engage, or are my brother. Now you are going too far.
Okay, Yubi, are you disappointed that political leaders...
Okay, all right.
Are you disappointed that political leaders are not more forthcoming, or do you accept that they don't want to lose elections?
No, I don't accept it. I'm deeply disappointed, and I was hoping, as cute as the admission is, and good for TV, I'm hoping that Mr. Mohai will at least accept that his attitude, retrospectively, is deeply immoral, because by saying that you're not willing to lose an election for the gay minority, you make it sound like it's a political strategy, but it's much more simple. You weren't willing to lose an election, even if it meant affirming the dignity and equality of all people in your country.
You are wrong. Now you are taking nonsense.
Just a minute.
Now you are talking nonsense, because my people, during my rule, Their dignity was not affronted. They were never arrested. They were never insulted. They were never harassed.
Mr. Mahai, with
Therefore,
all due respect, no, that's not good enough.
Your judgment.
When the law says to me, Eusebius McKaiser, as a gay man, what you do is illegal and it's immoral, that is undermining my dignity. The fact that behind the scenes you call up a policeman and say, dude, don't arrest Eusebius on the streets, it's not good enough. Because the message that the law signals in itself affirms homophobia, and for that you should take moral accountability.
I agree that the law that says that is wrong. But I've told you that I wasn't willing to, yes, oh yes. No apologies, no apologies.
Mr. Bahati, yes. David Bahati.
And I did not make the law.
Mr. Mahai, even Mr. Mahai has said, although he was in power, he didn't want to do this or that on the law, he says your law goes too far. Just tell us why you feel that your anti-homosexuality bill, strengthening the current laws in Uganda whereby homosexuality is already punishable by up to 14 years in prison, why you feel that needs strengthening?
Our constitution prohibits same-sex marriage. And this law is coming in to have a corresponding law that will punish same-sex marriage. That's number one. The second one, we have a problem of recruitment.
So you're saying that your bill is opposed to the recruitment of minors by adult homosexuals?
Yes, and it has four core elements.
So it's about paedophilia, it's not about homosexuality then?
It has four elements.
I'll just ask you, is it about paedophilia? You have spoken before about the existence of videos that show the recruitment, in your view, your claims, that there are these adult homosexuals who are targeting minors. Just put the flesh on the bones. What exactly do you mean?
We have evidence, and we are, listen, we are not obliged to present this evidence to this audience. Listen, I am a member,
Okay.
Listen, I am a member.
David Bahati to take the stage like this.
No. I'm going to give you a chance. Okay, wait, let's see. I'm going to come to somebody from Uganda. Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
Whether you make whatever amount of noise, I cannot allow our children, Ugandan children, to be recruited into homosexuality. I will never allow it.
Wait.
Whether you allow it or not.
Wait. Paula, is there anything in your work in health and sexual reproductive rights? You've lived in several countries in Africa. Are you aware of this kind of active recruitment campaign which David Bahati claims is in existence?
I'm not personally aware of it, no. I think sexual coercion of any kind is a problem, but there's no reason why we need to frame it within the homosexuality, mindset. It's got nothing to do with being gay.
Fikile is from the Association of African Lesbians.
It is a coalition of African lesbians, which is an organization that works on the whole continent. We are working to defend and promote the rights of lesbian women, bisexual women, transgender people on the whole continent. And we are Africans. I stand here as an African person. I cannot allow a conversation to go on insulting me and telling me that I'm not an African. You're actually not even insulting me. You're insulting my ancestors.
That's not what I'm saying.
You understand me?
No one has suggested that you are an African. But if you believe in homosexuality, then you are believing in something that is an African. So that's what we are saying.
Let me start by indicating how disappointed I am for David Bahati to be treated in the manner in which he was treated. He is a member of parliament in his country. The respect that he receives in his country must be meted out to him in this country.
Okay, all right. Caleb, you are a member of a Christian political party of young people here in South Africa. You've got 3 members of parliament.
Number one, everybody seated here is confusing the fact here. The issue is not about the hatred or the acceptance thereof. The matter is it African or not? Now, the truth, listen. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, let us conduct this debate in an orderly manner, in a family setup. in a family setup. And as much as you want to unravel the true fabric of being African by saying that being gay is acceptable or being lesbian is, it is totally against the morals of an African family.
My name is Amina Frenzy. I'm African and Muslim and a woman and probably straight. But I'm appalled at some of the views that we have heard here. Are we not signatories to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? And if that is the case, you know, why are we not brought to book for not adhering to some of the very universal principles that we're adhering to? That's very basic.
I'm Nemo Malachi from the ACDP Youth Foundation. I'm the National Secgen. There are obviously biblical reasons against homosexuality, but there are also non-biblical reasons, such as thousands of years of traditional male-female marriages across the cultures and religions, the effect of public health catastrophe among homosexual men, the fact of numerous studies showing the importance of to children of a father and mother. Inasmuch as polygamy is not allowed in America and stuff, and we do not impose it upon them because of human rights, they cannot impose their culture upon us due to human rights.
I am Mazibuko Jaha, a straight African male with deep rural roots. It's clear to me that the answer to the Bahatis of this world is Africans like me rising up against them to say to them, what they stand for is not for us. We must make it clear as Africans across the world, across the continent, that we want equality, we want freedom, we want no discrimination, we want no ignorance of the type we've seen.
OK, panel, I want you just to make your final points on this question of, is homosexuality un-African, and if so, what do you think should be done about it? David Bahati, start with you.
One member from the audience said that we are all subscribing to a Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Not at the UN, not at the African Union, have all countries said that we are subscribing to a sexual orientation, a right of sexual orientation of any kind. That's the reason why in some countries homosexuality is a human right, in other countries not a human right. And we respect each other. It's a mutual respect. You can do it the way you do it in South Africa, we respect that. But leave us in Uganda, we cannot allow homosexuality to be practiced. The final point, if I may, I leave South Africa with my heart bleeding.
Festus Mogai.
I can't understand why we say homosexuality is un-African when there is evidence that it has always existed in Africa and it exists today as it does elsewhere in the world. And therefore it appears to me that homosexuality, whether we understand it or not, or like it or not, is as African as it is European, as it is Asian. That's one. So our way of doing things in Botswana is to try to persuade. And my participation in this forum today, I was hoping that we would discuss without too much excitement, because we would try to persuade the rest of Africa and show them that their homophobia is unjustified. But unfortunately, we became too excited, emotionally affected. They stood up, they shouted those who disagreed with them. Then it appears that we are using intolerance to fight intolerance. So I thought maybe that a little presentationally.